shadow a dentist, but don't only shadow a dentist. You need to shadow the front office, the hygienist, the assistant. You need to, like, if there's 3 people up front, shadow each of them individually.
The sooner you can stop waiting for someone to help, the faster you can just get started. And then you have to be okay with it not working out.
All right, welcome back.
Yeah, so you know me. You know I'm always just constantly going through Facebook. That's all I do.
Yeah.
And it was kind of interesting because I was seeing people were starting to post on some of the forums, like not just about, oh, hey, did you get into dental school? And it made me realize
it's that time of the year.
It's that time of the year, which I was looking back, and I think because I was in state, we found out a little bit earlier, but I remember most people, I think it's still like early December when we found out. Because I remember being downstairs in our college, like,
are you painting a picture of this?
Yes. I was not, you weren't in here, but it was me and my other buddy who were applying for dental school. We didn't know each other at this point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were saying that.
No.
It was the ghost of Alex already haunting me. But I remember it was a 3-story townhome, just like the normal college ones. And my buddy and I were both living in the basement part. There were 2 rooms down there. And I remember, because it was Indiana University, I remember them saying, like, on this date, like December 3rd, we're going to send you an email at like 8 a.m. and it's going to have like all the acceptance letters go out there. Okay. And I just remember constantly
like
just
refreshing
that, and then just having like terrible anxiety.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily it worked out well. But I just remember, I remember those times. That was definitely stressful. So yeah, I guess it makes sense that it's December now.
Yeah, so people are going into dental school, getting accepted, figuring out if they're going to go or not go, or which school to go to. So that's kind of an exciting time.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd be interesting to kind of reflect back on our times in dental school, and kind of if we could wave a wand or go back in time, have a time machine, and say, hey, younger self, this is what I would do differently, or here's some advice that you should take.
Oh, I already know mine. That was easy off the top. Don't go to dental school.
you would go back 11 years and tell yourself, don't do it.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I would necessarily do that. I'm half joking on that one.
just don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's
the love of God.
I mean, 11 years. Yeah. I mean, right now, dental school is expensive.
Oh yeah. I mean,
and it's like, and apparently, like, you come out and you haven't like touched a drill, you know, and it's like, I haven't done any kind of dentistry in my
I think a lot of kids
degree.
Hopefully got better. I know, like, some of the associates we have now, they're a few years out, and I know they kind of got screwed with all the COVID stuff, because they told me, like, requirements, just the schools, I think, were just like, we need to graduate these people. And I just think requirements just went down the crapper in terms of what, I mean, I get it. It was a crazy circumstance, but
all right. So you tell people, so you tell yourself, maybe don't go. Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, what type of student were you in dental school?
Not good.
No, that's not true.
How are you defining good? Do you mean like
no? You
attention?
Said not good.
Yeah.
How are you defining good?
I mean, I would assume a good student like pays attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember you'd go to lectures.
Yeah, because we were forced to. It wasn't like medical school. You couldn't like listen to them later. If you could, I probably
we
wouldn't
didn't
have
have.
gone.
Well, we recorded them, and then we had like notes and
but
stuff like that.
But they took attendance at our school.
Oh,
they did? Yeah, remember we had those clickers too. Remember that like clicker where like professors would say like they'd ask you a question and it was like A, B, or C, and you had to have your clicker, and that was how they would also check attendance. You'd have to like, so then people would have their friends, they would give their friends their clicker, and then they would click in for them.
I don't remember this at all.
You've blocked that out of your memory?
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else that was in our class, if they're listening to this, they will definitely remember
that. And I
that.
was there. Like I showed up to like every lecture.
Yeah.
Like I'm a good student according to these.
We had those in college, and then we had them for a bit in dental school.
I don't remember,
it was a way to track attendance.
Randomly, it was just like for participation, but I don't remember it being.
I thought they did it for attendance, because I know we had to go otherwise.
Yeah, so, I do remember it was mandatory. So I remember you showing up and not paying attention.
Yeah.
Because I kind of sat in like kind of in the back a little bit so I could see everyone's like computers and stuff like that. And it's like no one taking notes.
Yeah. So then you weren't paying attention either because you were.
I was looking, going,
computers.
guys, like what the hell?
No, I think our go-to, because this was what, 2009, 2010.
Yeah, first year, second
the
year.
go-to game was Sporkle. That was the one everyone played.
Yeah,
some people were into Farmville. That was a big one too. I never really got heavy into Farmville, but I know that was a good. That was just, I think, a game or like an app where you just had to like build a farm.
SimCity?
I think, and you just had to like build a farm.
People.
And like have cows and like milk your cows and stuff. And
That sounds terrible.
Farm. I know. But no, Sporkle was the shit. That was, man, we were so good at like I knew all the countries of Europe.
At least it was somewhat educational, I
Yeah.
guess. Like,
I did not ask me the Krebs cycle. No, ask me all the countries of Europe and do it in under 60 seconds. I got it.
To be honest, I don't know the Krebs cycle either, so I guess I should have been doing random trivia instead. But no. But I mean, as far as like you grew up competitive.
Yeah. Just through sport, a lot of sports.
With sports and stuff like that, and wanting to be the best, and then like, what happened in dental school?
I know. I think I did a weird 180. I think I got like stressed out or burned out from all that.
Yeah.
And like I remember in dental school, to this day, I have no idea what my class ranking was, which I probably don't want to know, but I have no idea, and I have no idea what any of my final grades were in classes. I just knew that I had passed them because I tried to go this like weird, I don't know, route of like, maybe I was like, if I just focus on like A's all the time, I'm going to stress myself out and it's going to be terrible. And then I don't know.
That's crazy that you never checked one grade, you never looked at anything.
No, I mean, I looked at test scores to make sure like, okay, I passed. So I was like tracking to make sure I was doing fine. But like when they said, here's the final grade and how it affected your ranking, I have zero idea. It's kind of a little peaceful. Like I don't know, because I think all it would do is stress me out. I probably just got into dental school and I was like, all these kids are way smarter than me. I'm not going to do as well. So I'm going to pretend like there's no such thing as a class ranking.
Yeah.
Whereas you were the opposite. Weren't you like pretty
high
high
I was
up?
pretty, yeah. I tried hard, yeah. That was important to me, like personally, to like be the best.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wasn't top class. I mean, I was close, but yeah. There's that stupid biochem.
Oh, yeah.
Or microbio or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Whatever that
stupid.
stupid.
It's microbio.
Yeah, that stupid class. I will never get. But I don't care. So that is one of the things that I would pretty much tell myself. Looking back, I'd say, don't sweat the small stuff. Don't sweat the Krebs cycle or microbio or any of that because it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I think you can look, like it's hard to do it. It's easy to reflect on it, but I think it's one of those things too. If I was a dental student, I kind of knew either if I had shadowed a dentist or I had talked to other dentists who had been out a few years, it probably would be a good idea for someone starting dental school to maybe say like, get to know some dentists that are a few years out. There's all these online communities now that are really popular, and like find out what dentists actually need to know, and then say like, okay, school is going to help prepare me. That's great. But everything they're going to teach me, I do not need to know, and focus in on like what your future self is going to need and make sure you focus in on that.
Yeah. That's my number. I don't know, 5
Sorry,
or 6 or something like that.
I'm stealing them from you.
Yeah. That's my future.
Oh, that's the other thing too. Stealing. Yeah. No.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Don't do that.
No, I tell myself, look, stop being short-sighted. Like, just don't be in that moment of like, oh no, microbio and pros, and I got to do all of this. It's like, what's the end goal, right? Like, do you want to own an office? Do you want to be an associate? Do you want? And I knew that from the get-go that I wanted to own an office. That was kind of my thing. So it's like, focus on that stuff. Focus on the stuff that matters to you and that gets you to that level. So my number one thing is like work harder than anyone else. Like just, and I think like I did work pretty hard. Like I was always studying.
Yeah. So my mantra of work less than everyone else isn't a good one then.
Well, it depends on what your goal is.
What my goal is. Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
How did I get stuck with you?
Yeah. I don't know.
So anyway, work harder than anyone else. Like just read whatever you can, go on YouTube, whatever, like figure out everything you need to know about like whatever you're trying to learn.
I mean,
about.
there was one piece that I did with that, and I think that's maybe when I was like half joking, I'm like, don't go to dental school. I think I always knew I was very interested. I mean, I was interested in taking care of people and helping them. Like, I do like that aspect of it, but I also really like the business part of it, and I think I always knew that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did 4th year, like, yeah, I didn't pay attention in lecture, but I definitely like organized a after school event with our dean and like 4 or 5 of my friends, and we actually went through and learned how to like value a dental practice, because we were like, okay, well, we're going to get out and it's sometime we want to buy. What does this all mean? So the dean was open to kind of mentoring us with that, and we actually went through. Our buddy Tom was looking at buying a practice back up in South Bend, and we had no idea what the heck we were doing, but I mean, we went through his numbers, because he was already in the process of looking at buying something. So like he was going to graduate and get straight into ownership.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm sure he had other people helping him, but it was cool for us just to go through that example, and the dean showed us numbers and all that. So, I mean, I guess maybe my thing is I'll show initiative if it's something I want to do.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But you do like numbers and you gravitate towards that.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, that's good. I mean, that's promising.
Yeah, thanks.
So you'd tell yourself to continue to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe even like do it more. Like,
oh yeah, like I had, even like we talked about before, even the whole process of like selling and that whole atmosphere of like, you know, negotiating stuff and then figuring out what your practice is worth and trying to maximize all that. For some reason I just naturally gravitate towards that. So like I could do that all day, even if it wasn't my stuff, with other people.
Yeah.
If anyone wants help, I like doing that stuff.
Yeah, that's true. No, don't ask him because he has other things he has to get done.
I know,
that's true. But no, like our 3-hour business course that we took in like 4th year, and like how to prepare you for business.
Yeah, from like a guy who never owned a dental practice.
And didn't teach us anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd say, work harder than anyone else. Don't sweat the small stuff. And then, like, get started on the stuff that makes a difference. So I know that's pretty much what you'd said,
okay.
But when it comes to clinical. So, unfortunately, like, you can't just I guess you can just own the business, but you actually have to, like, drill on a tooth at some point, right? So,
one tooth.
A tooth, one time, done.
Yeah.
No, like, learn some of the clinical stuff. So I would have said, for me, like, go ahead and learn the implant course. Like, we didn't have implants, like placing implants in our school.
The
only
way you could do it. Well, that's a good thing you brought up, because remember, like our friend Ravi, who I'm sure he doesn't care if we call him out. Yeah, he crushed it once we got into clinical. He places implants all the time and does crazy complex stuff. He went to I forgot if it was like the pros department or whatever department it was that places most of them.
Yeah, I think perio.
He went there and just started shadowing him and doing it. Like he was one of those kids that, like, you know,
he didn't take no for an answer.
No.
Yeah.
And now he crushes it because he knew what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really important. It's like, hey, if the school is not giving me what I need and I'm interested in doing implants, or I'm interested in Invisalign or whatever it is, go do it yourself.
Yeah, seek
it out.
Don't
wait for them and be like, oh, I guess I can't do this, or I don't have any money to do this. It's like, stop going out and put your money together and go take a course.
Yeah.
And like that, it's kind of simple like that. I don't know. I would tell myself, don't give yourself any excuses.
Yeah. And I guess on my end, what I guess I could have done more is actually gone out. If I could go back and do it and know I was interested in buying a practice and starting a practice and doing all that, I probably would have gone out and reached out to other dentists in the area who I saw had really good reviews or big offices and just said, like, hey, I'm a student. I want to learn how you do this. Yes. You know, like, that's something you could do.
So that leads me actually into my number 4, which is, yes, shadow a dentist, but don't only shadow a dentist. You need to shadow the front office, the hygienist, the assistant. You need to, like, if there's 3 people up front, shadow each of them individually. Like, you need to know how to run that office at every level, not just like the doctor who goes in and out of rooms. It's like, okay, yeah, what is that doctor doing? What is he delegating? What is he looking at? What numbers is he pulling at the end of the day for reports and stuff? Now, what's the front doing? How do they answer a phone? Yep. How do they, if you knew all of that before owning a practice, like, that's huge.
Oh, that's like the same with, you know, dental students who were like lab techs before or assistants before. They come in with such an advantage. Yeah. So if you were going to say, I know I want to buy something and I want to be the owner of it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, do the homework before and at least you don't have to know all of it, but at least like get familiar with it. I mean, you will
eventually need to know all of it.
You'll need to know all of it, but at least like get a working knowledge of what it is and what the expectations are, so you know what you're getting yourself into.
All it is knowing where your skill deficit is. It's like, oh gosh, I had no idea that there was this big piece of customer service that I need to learn. All right, where am I going to learn this? And it's taking that and it's like learning, I don't know, whatever courses online. Like there's some big people out there. Like that actually leads into my number 5 or whatever. It's like, look for the things that you don't know a lot about: marketing, customer service, how to talk to someone. Like take a Tony Robbins course, like whatever it is. It's like,
it doesn't have to be dental. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It doesn't have to be dental. And I would probably say don't do a dental one.
Yeah.
Like go and learn actual skills that will help you in running the practice and dealing with people and dealing with patients, all of that stuff. So I tell myself to absolutely do that.
Hey, quick break here. If you're enjoying Just a Couple Dentists, don't forget to follow or subscribe wherever you're listening. It's the best way to keep up with new episodes and hear us argue about dumb stuff and complain about dentistry. And trust me, you don't want to miss that. Now back to the show. I think you got way more than I had. Maybe that's because my main one was like, don't go. But I think for me in school, it was don't look for the easy way out. That kind of goes into what I was tying into about like being lazy about some stuff. I think it's taken me a long time to learn the lesson. I still think I'm in the process of learning it. But, some of the people that will follow, listen to like Alex Ramosi, and he'll say things like the grind itself is the actual shortcut. That's what makes you good. And so I think a lot of times I looked for like short-term like rewards. So like, oh, I get to sleep in, or I don't have to pay attention on this so I can answer a new Sporkle quiz that just came out. And instead of just going in and doing the work. Yeah. Because my future self, like I definitely regret. There's times when you saw it when I had to go start the practice once we had our first kid and I had to take over a lot of stuff. Like I didn't have that grind mentality as much. And I was kicking myself every night because I'm like, damn it, if I would have just like developed this 5 years ago, I'd be ready for it now. And I wasn't.
Yeah. Learn to love the work.
Yeah. And so that's a huge mistake that I made was just kind of, I think that was always something I would always like, oh, well, I'll look for like the quick thing because it's like fun and exciting, right? Versus like.
Yeah. You just have to, and that's not a bad thing to like want to jump to like the end. It just, I think you just have to like marry the two together and be like, okay, I have this process that I need to get done. How do I like skip 8 steps and simplify it so I can get there faster? I mean, I think that, you can kind of do a little bit of both, but I always, I don't know if you remember from How I Met Your Mother, they always say, nothing good happens after 2 a.m.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was like the motto or whatever. And it's like that, but I think you need to like take it a step like way further. And it's like nothing good happens after like 9 p.m. Yeah. It's like when you get to like really trying to hone in on what your goals are and building up your skills and stuff like that. It's like, stay home. Like, don't go out. Don't do stupid shit. It's like, just focus, get a good night's sleep, wake up early and start the grind all over again and stuff. It's like, it's not worth it to just go out.
Or just make it maybe more of the exception on it. Cause I still do like our dental school class did have very like close knit of people.
We were very social.
And and we were social and we would go out. I still think it's good, like in dental school, when you've, at least for our school, right? It was like 2 weeks of intense study and then a test, and then 2 weeks of intense study and then a test. Yeah. It was still good on like that one night to say, hey, I've been grinding. All right, I'm going to have one night and we're going to enjoy it. And then I get to go back. So I don't think it's like devoid yourself of everything. Yeah. But you also, it doesn't have to be like college where it's like we're doing Thirsty Thursday and then Friday and then Saturday. Like half of your weeknights are going out, right? Or you can do that, but then don't get mad at yourself if you don't hit the goals you want. Like if you don't want those goals.
Yeah, totally.
Then
that's fine. That should be like the prepreface for this whole thing. It's like if you want to just have like a job or like be an associate and
average dentists make average amount, then that's
totally fine. And that is there's nothing wrong with that. Just that wasn't what I wanted. That wasn't my goal. So, or your goal really. So it's.
I don't think it was my goal, but I also didn't understand the work that had to go in for it.
Yeah, that's true.
So I kind of wanted to have my cake and eat it too.
Yeah, that's true. Another thing. Okay, so this is kind of like the big one for me.
Okay.
If I had like 1 minute to tell my younger self, like this is this is what I would do.
Ooh, okay. I'm interested. What is this going to be?
So I would want to tell myself, surround yourself with the smartest people you know.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, so, but there's a process to this. It's not just like, oh, here's that little piece of advice. It's like, no, this is how you do it.
All right.
Okay, so find 5 people that you think are the smartest people that you know. Now, it could be professors. It could be other students that are just like, man, this guy's freaking smart. Whatever it is, just grab 5 people. Talk to them, like set aside half an hour and just talk to them about life, their mistakes, what they do again. Just, it doesn't have to be dental. It's just teach me something. And then at the end of that, ask them who are the 5 smartest people they know. And if they could introduce you and give like a warm introduction.
Yeah, so you're kind of climbing the mountain.
You're climbing the mountain because you want to be around the smartest people that will help mentor you in the future. So out of those 5 people, and not everyone's going to respond. People are going to drop off and stuff like that. But even if it's like a couple of those people, it's like, and your network just gets bigger and bigger. It's not just within dental. It's like, oh, that professor that I talked to, they knew someone that was like a lawyer. That's the smartest person they know. And that lawyer knew someone that was a business person or whatever. And it just goes out and out and out. And you're relying on people just to be helpful. But for like a half an hour, and if it's a warm introduction, it's like, hey, so-and-so goes to school with my kid or whatever. Do you mind talking to this person, setting up like a quick meeting or something like that. And then you start, one, knowing how to talk to people. For me, that was the hardest because I don't really like to talk to people in general, I guess. I just like put my head down, like do my work. So that would be super helpful. And like getting out of my comfort zone and building a group of mentors that could help. Obviously, that isn't just like my small little circle of people that I know, because then you have like these blinders on, right? And it's like, who do I ask advice from? And it's like, oh, Sally that, didn't ace that exam or doesn't really know much. And like this other person that hasn't owned an office or anything like that or owned a practice. It's like, that's not who I want to get advice from. I want people that are successful.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I don't have that at the beginning.
No.
And it's building that up. And then.
No. And I think the biggest part of that is just being comfortable enough just to ask, right? It doesn't really take, if you think about it, it's just breaking through like the fear of asking.
Yeah.
That's all that is. It's not really like time. It doesn't cost money.
Yep.
It's just, you got to just do it.
Yeah. And you know what? That's going to help because when you're in the chair and you have to ask a patient for money to do this, like that, it all ties in. It's like you just have to be comfortable talking to people in the awkward situations, or else you're never going to diagnose that crown because I'm too scared to like hurt the patient's feelings or something like that, So it's like, you have to overcome that fear.
Just rip off the Band-Aid. And
I think being exposed to just so much more is super beneficial. It can take you to like whole new levels and stuff like that. So that's my one piece of advice that I would tell myself. It's just like surround yourself with the smartest people and work your way up.
Yours are so much better than mine.
I've thought about this a lot.
I know. I mean, for me, God, these just all go back to like not being
I have
lazy.
one for you. I mean, I think, one.
Okay.
I would if I went back in time and I could tell you what to do.
Yeah, wait. What's the scenario? This is you, current Alex, who's knows all this stuff, and then you see little Eric in dental school and say, you like come as a ghost and are like, this. You just whisper in my ear, and then is that what you're saying? Or
sure.
Okay.
Well, I don't care what the scenario is.
So what are you telling me?
This is what you need to. This is what you needed to change.
Okay.
You need to stop thinking about what other people think. Stop caring.
Oh yeah.
Stop caring about
definitely.
it. Yeah. So there's that.
I'm very like Michael Scott with that in The Office. He has some good quotes on that, but yeah, I can relate to those. I think I've always kind of cared what other people think more sometimes than even what I think.
Yeah, I think
because
so.
I'm nervous. Like I think it's just because I'm more extroverted and I want people to like me, right?
Yeah. Well, you feed off that energy,
yeah.
right? So it's like you don't want to. You need that. You need like to be around people and stuff like that versus, I don't need that.
Yeah. So then I guess on mine, if people aren't around me, then I'm like, ugh, this sucks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You don't get energized from it. So you're like, okay,
then,
well then I guess I'll make sure
so
I'm
then,
the likable guy.
Because one thing I always didn't, that kind of relates into this. Like one thing I would then rely on is I would rely on others to help bail me out if things were tough in dental school.
Yeah.
And like the weird thing on that I don't think I realized at the time is if my ultimate goal was to get people to like me and be friends, right? If I'm asking them to do stuff, they're just going to get annoyed by me because I'm just mooching off of them, right?
Yeah.
I'm not really like I'm not being a friend in the sense that it's like a give and take. It's more like, hey, help me, like, and then talk to me more. And I think then that doesn't really work. So that's
I don't know. I didn't experience that with. I don't know. You never asked me for anything.
That's because
so.
I was afraid of asking you because you
I'd
probably would be like,
say
no.
I'd probably give you a big lecture on like,
why you're dumb. But yeah, so it's just I think I have to learn this. The sooner you can stop waiting for someone to help, the faster you can just get started, and then you have to be okay with it not working out.
Totally. Yeah, I think that's a big one. Like, it might not work out, and that's okay. You've learned. And then
yeah,
I
think that's. But I think that's a big thing for a lot of people is like that fear of failure and just knowing that you just have to reframe it to like it's okay. It's part of growing. No one's perfect. I think for me, growing up really competitive and in a lot of sports, it's like you're almost taught like you can't make a mistake. If you make a mistake, it's bad. And so you get that kind of ingrained, like you miss a shot. Oh, that's bad. You let the team down because you missed a shot versus framing it differently. And so I think for a lot of kids who maybe grow up in like, I mean, it's not like I was playing competitive sports like in college or anything like that, but like at a younger age, that you kind of get that ingrained into you and you need to reframe it a little bit to like focus on like, okay, but you're part of a team and it's okay if that happens. Like you still have support, like all that kind of stuff. So I think I just put a lot of pressure on myself to always get it right, perfect the first time.
Yeah.
And so then if something got tough, then it's like, oh, well, I don't want to mess up. Okay, let me have someone else help me.
Real quick. If you're into what we're talking about and want more, check out my newsletter, Just 2 Minutes. It's the dental blog you can actually read between patients. No fluff, no BS, just straight up tips, stories, and insights to help you level up. You can subscribe over at coupleofdentists.com or just hit the link in our show notes. Now back to the pod. I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't play team sports, so I don't
know. You never did
Sorry.
that. Yeah.
So that analogy is totally lost on me. No. Just kidding. And then I'd also tell you to continue to be competitive.
Yeah, I did kind of give that up in dental school.
Yeah.
I feel like when I do that, I think it was a balance because I think I got over competitive. And like I said, I would get like, then I had trouble with like controlling like frustration or getting angry over stuff. So I think it's learning a balance between keeping the competitive part because it does drive you to like,
it does.
It makes you go further. And so you need to be competitive.
Yeah.
And that's all bull crap if people say
and have
like,
a little chip on your shoulder, I guess. Hey?
Yeah. So yeah, I would probably tell myself that is learn to balance, like keep the good aspects of that. And then I think what I did is I said, just get rid of it all versus, all right, what are the positive aspects and what are the negative aspects associated with this or being competitive and saying, okay, these are the positive ones. How do I keep these? These are the negative things associated with it. How do I remove those negative things? So that's maybe like what I would have done differently when starting dental school if I knew what I know now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. Good. Yeah. Those are all mine.
So, okay, now I want to go to dental school again. I'm good. Yeah, you changed my mind.
No.
Yeah.
Honestly, after that, I'm like, I don't know if I would go back to dental school.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. It's hard to say. I mean, it is a lot more expensive. I mean, I went the military route, so I didn't have debt. So, I mean, I think that's good for a lot of people. I don't know if it's changed, but for me, it was 4 years. You still get paid. It's not like you're working for free.
Do you think that changed your mindset on because you didn't really have a loan to pay back, that you weren't like
I didn't have to hustle as hard?
Yeah.
I mean, that could be it. I mean, it also did stop me from like buying or owning a practice for 4 years because you had another commitment.
Yeah.
That was full time.
Yeah, true.
So I mean, that kind of pushes you back a little bit. So I don't know. I think it depends on, like you said, like kind of what your goals are. And then the tough thing is those always change, right? So if you write them down, they're probably going to, I mean, how many times have we pivoted what we were doing? Like probably hundreds. 50 times. Yeah.
So many.
It just is always happening. So yeah, I don't know with school being so expensive. I don't know. What would you do? Do you have any idea?
Go back?
Would you go back
if
to
I
dental
was
school, or would
no.
you pick a different
career? Yeah, I think I'd do some kind of coding. To be honest, I think I would.
Yeah, that just wasn't. Yeah, I feel like that would fit you well. It just wasn't. That wasn't a thing when we were growing up, or enough to where like.
I had no idea. That was not in my little bubble of stuff at all.
Yeah.
But I liked being on the computer, and I liked like I could sit at a computer for like 10 hours in a day and just like straight and just work or do whatever, and I'm very comfortable with that. Not talking to people, that kind of thing. And I liked like LimeWire and Napster and like doing all of that stuff and.
Yeah.
Hacking.
Yeah.
Getting free stuff. But yeah, I think I would probably. Well, this is like if I was going back, and this is like looking at my like 12-year-old self.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, get into this computer stuff because I might be good at it.
Yeah, I think.
And then develop some kind of like software or something like that, or I don't know, build the next Google. I don't know. No, I'm not that good, and I'm not that imaginative.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would probably. I'd have to do something that would still involve people a lot. Mm-hmm. That I could, just be interacting with a lot of people. So I don't know. I feel like I said earlier, some of the things I like a lot are like when there's like business deals or people are doing like, maybe I would do like mergers and acquisition stuff or M&A stuff, or go into like, if there was like an alternate route, mm-hmm. I probably would have gone into something like that. And I mean, I went to IU, which had a good business school. I think. Well,
you did. You got your MBA.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I went back and did that. But even like back when I was in college, mm-hmm. I may have gone that route. I just don't think I knew. I think the fear of the unknown of just business being so broad kind of scared me, versus I was like, well, if you go into dentistry, that is like, there's one path, there's one outcome.
One little mouth.
you're in dental, and you're going to be a dentist, and then it's a little more like safe and guaranteed, right? But if I had more confidence back then, I guess I would have just bet on myself more, and maybe I would have done that and then gotten into like, I don't know, investment banking stuff or things in that, because I do kind of like that stuff.
Neat.
Yeah.
So any students listening, they're going to be like, oh shit, I don't want to go to dental school anymore.
No,
sorry for crushing your dreams.
Yeah, right.
No, dentistry's still cool-ish.
Yeah. I think that's cool that they get to start. I mean, it'll be July-ish time frame when they start, so yeah, that'll be good.
Excited. Yeah.
If any prospective dental students or anyone starting, let us know if you ever have any questions.
Yeah. Hope someone's listening.
Yeah. It's just 2 listeners. I think we're up to 2 listeners.
Awesome.
That's good.
I'll take it.
Cool. All right.
Bye.
Bye.